Who's scruffy looking?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Danny. So today we are going to jump right into the age-old question of can a lightsaber cut through Captain America's shield? So recently I've seen a bunch of things on Twitter about this from Mark Hamill and Chris Evans, but to be honest, I have not been satisfied by these answers. So to start off, we're going to answer the question of what is vibranium?
What about this one?
No, that's just a prototype.
What's it made of?
Vibranium is stronger than steel and a third the weight. It's completely vibration absorbent.
So vibranium is a virtually indestructible metal that is able to absorb all kinetic energy directed at it.
That thing does not obey the laws of physics at all.
But there are limits to this capacity of energy that can be stored, even though those limits may not be totally known. And the question, is this shield completely indestructible? The answer is actually no. There's been at least 15 instances where Captain's shield has either been damaged or destroyed by Doctor Doom, Loki, Ultron, Thanos, and a bunch of others. So what is the equivalent of vibranium in the Star Wars universe? Well, there are no indestructible metals in the Star Wars universe, but there are at least 4 that are pretty dang strong and lightsaber resistant. For Cortosis, its power was not in its strength, but its ability to cause lightsabers to temporarily short out upon contact, or at least not be as strong. But with repeated strikes, a lightsaber could break through Cortosis, so that's not vibranium. Next one is Frick, an extremely rare but dang durable metal. In Legends, Palpatine's lightsaber was made out of this. It was lightsaber resistant, but it was not indestructible. The third is Durasteel. Now Durasteel is best known as the chest plate of Darth Vader's armor, and we see that it is lightsaber resistant from the battle with Luke in Cloud City. But it is not indestructible. A lightsaber would clearly get through that. Now the fourth is Beskar, or Mandalorian iron, and it was used in Mandalorian armor and could potentially withstand the slash or glancing blow of a lightsaber, but it would give way to a direct jab by a lightsaber. So we got to think a little bit harder about this. A big question that often comes up is how hot is the lightsaber and what is the melting point of Cap's shield? Assuming that a lightsaber were as hot as tokamak plasma, which is like the hottest thing that we can create, that's 150 million degrees Celsius, aka 10 times the temperature of the center of the sun.
What, is it hot?
All right guys, here is the blow your mind moment. I believe that the melting points of Cap's shield and the temperature of a lightsaber are completely irrelevant to this question of whether a lightsaber can cut through Cap's shield. Now let me explain why. A lightsaber blade is a massless form that neither radiates heat nor expends energy other than the emitted visible light until it comes into contact with something solid. The heatless point is given that if it were really 150 million degrees Celsius, then someone's hands would never be able to be 2 inches away from the blade. Now, lightsabers are powered by the Kyber crystals.
Do you know how to awaken the force within the crystal?
Kyber crystals were force-attuned crystals that focused the energy of the force and amplified its intensity. Now, since the force is in everything,
you must feel the force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere.
Now why is this important? Because a lightsaber would be able to interact with the force energy of Cap's shield by virtue of its Kyber crystal and potentially do the shield damage. In other words, a lightsaber's power is not based in its kinetic energy, aka heat. Its power is in its ability to transfer energy through the force from its blade to the object it is contacting with, thus doing that object damage. So the main ability of Cap's shield to absorb kinetic energy is not a factor anymore, nor is its melting point. So unless the shield can actually act as Cortosis and somehow be resistant to the power of the force of the Kyber crystals within the lightsaber, it may eventually give way or get damaged by the transfer of force power from the lightsaber. But that's just a maybe. I mean, is there a scenario where a lightsaber would 100% cut through Cap's shield? I think there is.
I saw your laser sword.
Now the idea that the lightsaber is not just some super hot laser sword and is inseparably connected to the Force by virtue of the Kybers is pretty critical to this question. We all know that a non-Force user can hold a lightsaber, use it, fight with it, but its power is then limited to whatever the Kyber crystal alone can project. So the question is, can a lightsaber's power be enhanced by the force power of a Jedi or a Sith? The force power of Tutaminis is the ability to absorb force energy. Yoda uses it against Count Dooku and Palpatine, And I believe Obi-Wan is using it here. I do not believe it was only the lightsaber absorbing the Force lightning, nor that a non-Force user would have even been able to do this simply because he was holding a lightsaber. It was Obi-Wan connecting through the Force to absorb the Force power of the dark side energy. This is evident by the fact that Mace Windu chooses to not have his lightsaber absorb the Force lightning here, but in fact to repel it back at Palpatine. So if a Jedi can absorb energy through the Force with his lightsaber, I believe that a Jedi can also expel energy through the Force through his lightsaber, thus making his lightsaber even stronger than it is alone with just the Force-sensitive kyber crystals.
No, that's not possible.
So this is my conclusion. Because a lightsaber's power is not in its heat but is drawn from the Force, and the Force is in everything, it is possible that a lightsaber could transfer enough energy through the Force that it could eventually cut through Captain America's shield, given that it had enough time and pressure. But that's just a maybe. Now, in the hands of a Force user that is enhancing the power of his lightsaber through the Force and its Force-sensitive kyber crystal, I believe that there is zero question whatsoever that that lightsaber, being enhanced by the power of the Force, would indeed be able to cut through Captain America's shield like it were butter.
Okay, case closed. I win.
I have to go.
So, what do you guys think? Like if you agree, comment below, share the video, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do twice.